Okay, so the monarch population has taken a big decline, and there's many reasons for it, but one of them is the lack of native plants, and specifically native wildflowers, and also their host plant that they need, which is Asclepias syriaca. This plant right here, also known as common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca, is native to the USA, and it's very important for them to lay their caterpillars on there, and for those caterpillars, that then they eat the plant, they eat the leaves, and they can only eat, species of Asclepias, and this is one of the best ones for it because, some of them have slightly different chemical makeup, and they kind of need a very specific chemistry. But anyway, so this plant is important for monarchs. Yes, that's true. And you should plant this for monarchs. It's very important for them. This is their host plant. They need it. But people often forget that, monarchs don't just need Asclepias syriaca, or also known as milkweed. They also need plants like, gotta go over here for a minute. They also need plants like this over here. Symphyotrichum, for example, Symphyotrichum pilosum. They need species like this because these give them the food they need. They need, to drink nectar, and plants like these are great for that. And, you also want to make sure that there's flowers, every month of the year if you can. Obviously you can't have flowers in winter, but you want to have native keyword there, native wildflowers every season that you can, basically, and wherever you live in the USA, in order to benefit monarchs and other pollinators, but especially in this case monarchs, as much as possible. Because if they have flowers in, say, June, that's great, they have flowers in June. But what about the other months? What about, July? What about August? What about September? What about October? They need something, whenever it's warm out, basically, whenever it's the growing season, whenever it's not cold, they need flowers. You can't just plant milkweed and say, okay, that's good, I help monarchs. I mean, that's great, if you do, that's great, it's helping them, but it's not going to completely help them. Planting this along with that Asclepias syriaca is much better, because you're gonna give them the food they need, like as adults, and their host plant the food they need when they're caterpillars. So this is the most beneficial thing you can do for monarchs, is to plant a diversity of native plants. You definitely want to plant, species of Asclepias, but that's not the only thing you want to do if you're trying to help monarchs. You want to make sure you plant other native plants, especially native wildflowers that produce lots of nectar. Butterflies are usually after nectar, and so you really want to have a native plant that produces a lot of nectar. So yeah, very, very nice. Species of Monarda, also known as bee balm, are very good for that. So yeah, very, very, very nice. Very nice, beautiful native flowers right here. But yeah, that's basically what you want to do if you want to help monarchs. You don't just want to plant Asclepias species. You want to make sure you have a diversity of native plants. It's definitely important to have some species of Asclepias, whether it's Asclepias tuberosa or Asclepias incarnata, or Asclepias syriaca. You want to have a species of Asclepias, definitely a native one, but you also want to have other wildflowers. It's very important to remember that. And again, ideally native, because native wildflowers are much more beneficial to wildlife than non-native flowers, because they didn't evolve here, and the monarchs, which are native here, have not evolved with those non-native plants. So you want to make sure you have lots of diversity in your native garden, is kind of the message to take away from this, to help not just monarchs, but really insects and animals in general, and not even just them, but even the plants. Some of these plants are becoming endangered, or are endangered, some of these native plants. And so, you know, by growing them, we can make their population higher and stop them from being endangered, give them protection. And the easiest way to do that is just grow them in your yard. That simple, you know. And a lot of them are low maintenance. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. They're unique in their own way. And yeah, hope you guys got something out of that.